Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 88 of Techopolis 3, where today, we finally get the end Technium ingot and the frame rate here. So how do we do it? Well, what's left to do? You're going to have to jump into this episode right after you hit that like and subscribe and share this with all your friends. So do it right now. And, yeah. Now jump into the episode. All right, guys, jumping into this episode. I decided to set up the mixer last episode for you guys, but I was like, I'll set it up so that this automatically does everything between episodes, and I was like, no, you guys deserve better than that. You guys deserve to see the final steps so we can get the ingots and so we can discuss whether or not we actually continue to final Technium. Part of me says yes, but then again, we're at a stage where, this series has gone on for way too long. So it's up to you guys. So we need an industrial fermenter here. So fluid pipes. We need 2 of them. Industrial fermenter, we need 2 light engineering blocks. We should have that. Yep. 1 redstone engineering block, which we do not have any. Simple enough to make. There we go. 2 iron or 4 iron sheet metals. 6 steel scaffoldings. And 4 cauldrons. That is a new item. So 4 cauldrons. I did use up a lot of the iron here. I was just refilling this up, so we had some of this. We have already blown through like 100 of those since I refilled, so looks like the thing that's going to run out again is probably nether first. Which blaze rods, does that have nether? Yeah, it does have nether, so we could actually take blaze rods like so. I'm just going to fill this up with blaze rods. We'll take what's extra here. Keep what's extra here. And yeah, we'll just put these in here. Like that. Just get some more nether. Anyway. Fermenter. I think we're going to set up the fermenter over here. I mean, why not? We've got the cloche here with the chorus fruit, and it's chorus fruit that makes this in the fermenter, so we just might as well just have it go directly into the fermenter. Recipe for this shows this recipe like so. I'm not sure where some of this goes, so we're just going to be guessing. No, that's not where that goes. But I did see 2 of you right here. The 2 light industrials right there. So let's take a look at this. It looks like the 4 of those guys are there. We have 2 more of these, so I'm guessing they go there. The fluid pipes go there. These go here, and that goes there. Redstone block goes here, and if I'm not mistaken, yep, there we go. We've got the industrial fermenter. Let me go sleep so it's a little bit brighter here. So you guys aren't completely almost super dark. All right, so we've got the industrial fermenter. So let's get a power source over there. We should have a power source already in that area. An ultimate tank. All right, so we have an ultimate tank. We want a entangled block here. What are we? Okay, we're waiting on a CPU to open up because we're finally producing a lot of stuff again. It seems like between episodes, when I let this world run, just there's like one area where it lags up on, and when I finally get back to it, it's like, oh, okay, you want us to run. Yeah, we can do that. That's fine. That's all right. There we go. This is getting power. The tank can go here. I think. Oh, the input is right here. Okay, so we can input over here. Logistical transporters does hook up to it. Good. And since now we can get this to run, we see that we have ender ethanol here. So we can select this block, and it's going to run. It's going to take a little bit. Did we grab the entangled block yet? No. We'll take this entangled block down here and right back here. We'll tap that and wrench that there. Now we have we have ender ethanol going into our end machine. Remember, guys, it's right up here. So let's go up here real quick and see what's going on with the ender ethanol. Huh. Yeah, see, this shows molten ender fluid in here. So I didn't think anything but the molten ender fluid could go into that. Let's see. Can we pull it out of here back into this pipe? No. So let's get the molten ender fluid, which is purified biofuel, which we have somewhere. I don't know. Do we have access to it here? No. It is over here. So, um, right. I'm just trying to see here. 7? 7 devices. So if I somehow get you over here. Okay, so we could actually get a purified biofuel. We're going to need a storage bus, a drawer here, downgrade because we want to downgrade. I don't want more than a stack of it setting in this at a time. Let's see here. Downgrade, storage bus, we've got cables, got the key. So we need a exporter storage, a stock. We've got to tell it to make a stock exporter. You know what? Let's teach it how to make a stock exporter. Because it knows how to make everything else. Might as well know how to make the entire stock exporter. Just got to hit that a few times. There we go. Stock exporter. We'll even get a crafting card for it shortly. So what I want to do is set this here. I want to put this downgrade into it. Okay. Pick it up. And set this, say, right here. There we go. We get the purified biofuel in there. Lock you up. Storage bus on top here with bad cable management skills. we go. Bad cable management skills. So now we should be able to see purified purified biofuel. We'll only want a half a stack of this stuff. Molten interfluid. We're going to need anglesite. We only want a half a stack. We want a crafting card. Gotta wait until one of these becomes available. Right. Let's check on this. Should be almost done. This, we're waiting on the iron. Of course we're waiting on the iron. Is there any other reason why we're waiting on the iron here? All right. All right, so there we go. We have the stock one, and we have the crafting card. We have acceleration cards on us, so that's good. I am checking the time, guys. We are in good shape here. Okay, so if I put this stock there and tell it 32 of these purified and 32 of these anglesites, craft what we need, and go about putting it in as fast as possible. Okay, so once these get put in here, this will turn into the molten ender fluid fuel. So I'm not sure. I am going to let this build up here. Because once that builds up, I'm not sure how we're going to get this out of this. So give me a moment to figure that one out, and I will be right back, guys. All right, guys. I found the way to empty it. It was just as simple as breaking it, so that's what we did. Also, I've been looking at this going, I want to make this a little bit better for us. So I'm going to first get the molten in here. De-wrench this real quick so that this ender fluid here, it's only 300 buckets, so what? It's fine enough to break. So we're gonna set this molten fluid up right here. Okay, so, and we're going to set... What? No, even better yet. Yeah, I have an even better yet way of doing this. Yeah, we'll set this right here. No, not that. We'll set this molten tank right here. All right. We're going to get a couple, or we're going to get a export bus or import bus. Right. Yeah, we'll get an import bus because we can make it to do fluids. We're going to get a battery or a energy acceptor. Okay. And we're going to get another storage bus. Now, this is the little bit of trickiness to avoid getting anything besides the molten interfluid out of this. Is we're going to set I'm going to set a cable anchor down here. Okay. We're going to set a import bus on this side, a storage bus on this side, a smart cable there, a energy acceptor right below it. And I'll run some power to the energy acceptor. And what we're going to do with this is molten there we go. Molten interfluid is the only thing we accept. Configurable is just fluids. So we just turn this off just to fluids, right? We'll put some energy acceptors in here. We can say this can only accept the molten interfluid. Okay. And on this side, we can slap a storage bus onto it. It is very tight quarters. And this also gets molten energy fluid. And we will say that you can extract only. So we should be able to see molten fluid in here. All right, we see 90 buckets worth. We see the molten mob essence. This is not getting any energy until we bring energy cables up like so. Now, this is empty of molten. This only has molten fluid in here, so that is good. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to bring this cable over to this area right here. And now it's getting the stuff in here for the purified stuff. So now, let's see here. we're getting the molten ender fluid. And if we tell this, you can export molten ender fluid in as well. We should see this also decrease to pretty much empty. That's all went to the end. So let's look here. Let's go over here to the end base. And if this is all set up properly, which I think it finally is, we hear it all running. Temperature required greater than 800 C. So we need to bump this up, say, to 2000. It is running. So what if we go 4,000? It is pumping, or it is clicking through this every time it gets above that. So it's doing the tick. 8,000. Okay, so now we're seeing it actually speed up the molten ender fluid here. So guys, would you like to see me finish this off? I think I do want to finish off this series. Once we get the ender Technium, or the final Technium, which will be the start of next episode, because, well, we're pretty well set up here with this being done. It is making the eye blocks here for us. Like, it does take a lot to make the eye blocks. We were just waiting for this to get done. I am going to call this episode, once we get this final Technium, or this end Technium. And starting next episode, we'll figure out where we're going with this. So I will be right back once our first piece of end Technium gets done here. All right, we got our end Technium ingot here, which means we can now get our end Technium nuggets, which in return we can get the, we'll go back over here to the main base. I'm really waiting until this gets cleared up. You'll see what I mean here soon by that. We will be able to get the end Technium machine. Have to wait. There we go. 1 and 2. There we go. We have our end Technium machine frame, which I don't see it doing anything. But in this, it allows us to make a weather machine. I'm looking at this, and I'm gonna have to set this up here soon, which requires us to have a metal press set up for wires. So one of the things we're going to get is a Technium compressor. This is one of the few items right away. We're going to also get the weather, and we're going to say the clear weather module is the one we want. Once we get those, the Technium compressor, which will be next episode, we're also going to get the... I gotta figure out if this is a one-time use for the undefined singularity, or if it's, every time. Doesn't need to be in the overworld, so we can... or doesn't need to be in any specific dimension, so we can set it up over on the other Hex Island. I can... looks like we're going to need a lot of the ingots to be made, so I'm gonna let my system back up for making these guys. Also, I'm going to remove the downgrades between these guys because yeah, I think it's time that we accept that we're going to need more than one stack. So the issue is mob essence seems to be running low. This is clipping this out as fast as possible. So anyway, guys, if you like this episode, hit that like button. If you dislike this episode, go right ahead, hit that dislike button. Tell me why you did so down in the comments. It really helps me out, really helps this channel grow. You guys are awesome. We are trying to make that 1,000. So as I said in the beginning, if you haven't done so yet, share it with your friends. So we get the channel out there. And until next time, later, Gators.